Today's consumers are an elusive bunch. With all the diversity and specific characteristics that make up their unique demographic profile, it's hard to know how best to reach them. That's especially true when deciding on how to spend your hard-earned and valuable marketing media dollars. With so many different consumer makeups out there, each with their own very individual tastes, it can sometimes feel like you're picking between not just 31 flavors, but more like hundreds and even thousands of media options. And who wants to chase the flavor of the month without some knowledge that it'll pay off? Nobody. Which is why today's consumers are divided into specific age ranges defined by traits that help them when making purchases of anything, from cars to coats, chia pets to groceries. In a nutshell, there are currently 4 consumer categories that retailers need to know, and know well. They are the baby boomers, millennials, and Gen Xers, with the new Gen Z coming up closely on their heels. We are going to get to know them a little bit better in the next few minutes, starting with the baby boomers. Meet Mary. As a boomer, even though the group is generally in their 50s or 60s, she feels a lot younger than her parents did at her age. She's very work-centric, and part of the single largest group that has the most disposable income. Mary's both goal-oriented and competitive. Next is James, a Gen Xer, also known as the Me generation. He grew up watching his parents work hard and saw many of his friends and even himself get laid off with the economic downturn. As a result, James has an entrepreneurial spirit and is ambitious. He is always eager to learn a new skill, even just for self-improvement. James highly values both his personal and family time. Then there's Hannah. She's a millennial, the toughest generation to tap into. She's a foodie and sincerely wants to save the world. She enjoys working in teams, is used to getting praised, and is well educated. Healthy choices are what she's after, and she shops the outer perimeter of the store, meaning she's concerned about how companies are protecting the environment and the future with the products they choose to carry. More on Gen Zer, Ethan, in a moment. Now that we know a little bit about them, when allocating your media dollars, it is important to know how they watch media and they make their purchasing choices accordingly. With our baby boomer Mary, while she owns a computer and a smartphone, it's taken her some time to understand how to work them. She gets news from her favorite local morning or nightly news show. She still reads the newspaper sometimes, but likely only on the weekends. The baby boomers are spending increasingly more time on their computers and tablets, inadvertently viewing ads placed there. Our Gen Xer James is incredibly price sensitive and is always looking for the best deal. A do-it-himselfer, he loves home improvement shows. He wants a lot of information before he'll purchase most any item, and like the millennials, can be found on his computer more often than in front of the TV. He's likely cancelled his newspaper subscription, though may still visit a newspaper website if he's curious about what's going on in the world. Hannah, our millennial, relies hourly on her phone and computer for updates and information. She watches very little program TV, though she may DVR her favorite show. She listens to pre-programmed music of her choice on her iPhone, so traditional radio is a bit old school for her. While the 2 older generations are still communicating on Facebook, she decided to close her account and use Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest to communicate with her friends and get her ad messaging. Then finally, there's our little Gen Zer Ethan. While he's not yet old enough to make most purchases himself, he's already influencing his parents and will be a real contender for consumer dollars in the very near coming years. He could live his entire adulthood without mailing a letter or actually reading a printed newspaper. And will likely spend more time on an electronic device than he will sleeping. So there you have them, the 4 consumer demographics that should shape your marketing strategy. When deciding on how to spend your media dollars, remember it's a flavorful and colorful mix of these groups that make up your target demo. Focus your marketing efforts on those mediums that will best hit the groups you are after, right where they'll be looking, matching up with your budget accordingly. Whether TV, radio, print, digital, online or guerrilla marketing, the perfect blend of ad dollar spending and marketing strategy means you get the most bang for your marketing buck and the most profits for your pocket.